Hello, all of you amazing trailblazers. How's it going? I wanted to share with you a common complaint or horror story that I hear a lot. In fact, I've heard it more times than I would even want to admit over the last year or two. Sometimes I'm tempted to go back and count, but that would probably make me feel even worse about it because the reality would just be too. And it sounds something like this. All right, so I'm going to kind of role play for you here. So put your imagine hat on and come into the land of imagination with me. All right, keep it clean. Kristen, I'm so frustrated. I mean, I hired this person. They said they could build my membership site in Kajabi, Thinkific, fill in the blank. And I still don't have a membership site. I mean, I don't have anything to show for it. So I've spent all of this money on this person, and now come to find out they can't even build it. They said that they can't even do it for me. They don't have everything that they need to do it, and that it's going to cost more money to get it done. And I'm just so frustrated. So, I'm going to find somebody else to do it. Or how about this? Kristen, I swear, I have spent so much money on people that say they can do something for me and then come to find out they can't do it. Like, they have no experience with it. They don't know what they're doing. They have completely screwed up my system. And now I'm having to spend even more money fixing it. And I have to pay to have it fixed to even start actually building my automation and my landing page. I mean, what the hell? I mean, I'm not made of money. Money does not grow on trees like everybody thinks it does. I am not the bottomless pit of dollars for everybody. So, I mean, seriously, I cannot tell you how many times I've gone through this process with people. I don't understand why I cannot find somebody that can actually do this for me. Sound familiar? Have you heard people saying things like that? Have you experienced that yourself? Well, that's what I want to talk to you about. I'm Kristen Kramer with Bold Moves Boss, and this is an installment of WTF Wednesday. And yes, it does stand for exactly what you think it does. So I don't want to get too deep in the weeds with the granular things that are going on in the background when I hear stories like this. There are a couple primary things that could be happening. One is that maybe you're not asking for the right thing. And so it's not that you're getting screwed over, it's that you're not asking for the right thing. Okay? You're standing at the hamburger stand when you need to be at the hibachi restaurant down the street. But you don't know what you don't know. So that makes it hard to ask for the right thing. To know that you need to ask for chicken teriyaki and not a cheeseburger. Okay? So that's one possible scenario. You're just asking for the wrong thing. And so you're not getting the right person in the right place for the job you need done. All right. And a lot of times that's where it starts. However, on the supplier side, the virtual professional, that's like, sure, I can totally do that. A lot of times they're not asking the right questions. You probably, as the business owner, were like, I don't have a lot of time. I just need to know, what can you do this and what's the cost, right? Because we have gotten into this space of things being very transactional. So we don't want to, and maybe the better way to say it is, we don't have necessarily the time to invest in really understanding what somebody does and if in fact they can do it for us. So, it takes two to tango, folks. That's just what it is. The other thing is that, seriously, I'm going to get so much shit over this. The other thing is, you drank the Kool-Aid the marketing teams put down for you. Yeah. You went hook, line, and sinker and took the bait. And you believed the marketing when it said, you can have your landing page up and running in less than an hour and start selling today. And what they forget to mention, intentionally, I might add, is that that would be true if you had all of your graphics ready, all of the copy, so everything that you want to say ready. You had all of your color codes mapped out. You had all of your emails for the email campaign mapped out. You took the time to draft what that experience should look like. You have the downloadable content, so maybe bonuses or course materials or whatever. You have all of that ready to go, and it's all in one place that you have tied a ribbon and a bow onto the top of it with which to say to the person you hire, here is all of my wonderful stuff that I want to sell on my landing page and in Keep or Kajabi or Thinkific or whatever. Please take this and build my empire with it. No. You know what the reality of that is? It's all that information is scattered to the four winds. You didn't realize that there are so many moving parts and so many layers to a landing page that it's not just a matter of, waving my magic wand and creating a landing page for you, because there are a lot of things that have to happen. Like, well, when they give you their money, what then will happen? Right? And look, we've all purchased stuff online, so we know the general flow that should happen, right? You get a receipt, you get a thank you email, then, you get some other stuff, right? You either get the product or you're directed to the page, download it, whatever the case may be. But you as the business owner have to be involved in that process, and you have to be organized. And look, I mean, I've been doing this for almost 12 years, and thank God search has gotten much better in Outlook and OneDrive, because over the evolution of the years of my business, I forget what I name stuff. I've kind of changed the way I've organized information. Some things have been grandfathered in that I'm like, oh, I really need to address that, but I don't, because I don't have time for it. And the real question is that a good use of my time? No. So it's sort of a mixed bag of issues that come to the table. So on the one hand, you don't know what you don't know. So you don't know exactly what to ask for. You're asking for a VA when you really need a community manager. You're asking for a VA that can handle customer service when you really need a tech VA, because you need somebody that can build automations for you, right? And on the service provider side of it, you're not asking enough questions, and you're not saying, great, I'd love to work with you. Before we can do that, this is what I will need from you in order to get started. And hey, you know what? Like, that's something that we learn the hard way. And sometimes it's hard to tell them what they need to give you because, well, you're not completely clear on all of the details. So then you end up with this mixed bag of miscommunication and just like all this weird stuff that happens. But what if, listen carefully, because I'm about to ask you a really important question. So eyes here. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, right? That's what they say. What if you had access to a network of professionals and resources that could help you navigate all that noise and chaos that's out there coming at us from every direction all day long? And most of the noise and chaos is coming at us with the purpose of moving to a sale, of a transaction of some kind. So I'm not talking about another networking event or another group where I tell you this is what I do and this is who I serve and this is what I charge. And the whole time you're both thinking, maybe you're my client, right? So if you're a coach or a consultant and you have a service provider in front of you, you're thinking, I think they need coaching. I think I could help them with their business, right? So your mind is already working on, how will I talk to this person and tell them what I can do to help them grow their business? The service provider on the flip side of it also has their wheels spinning on, is this possibly a client for me? How do I move them into doing business with me? So that's the motivation behind a lot of the networking that we do. And there isn't anything wrong with that. I mean, I built my business for the first 8 years over referrals. Like that was it, just referrals. I spent about a year in a heavy prospecting phase, and the rest of it was clients referring business to me. So I got a little spoiled. I worked hard for it, but not everybody gets to build a business that way. So what if you could have a community, either as a business owner or a service provider? So two sides of the same coin. Follow? And as a business owner, you now have the ability to start building relationships with service providers and get to know them as a person, possibly before you need them, instead of just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. Right? Because that's what most of us do. You put out there on Facebook or whatever, asking, does anybody know of a good virtual assistant? I see hundreds of these posted. And some people will be smart enough to say, well, I don't know. What do you need that person to do? Valid question. And others will be like, oh, we'll call this person because they're just amazing, without even knowing what it is exactly that you need this virtual assistant to do for you, right? So, and it's usually always the same 4 or 5 people that are offered up, depending on the group. And hey, look, reality, eventually those folks are going to be saturated, and they may or may not have the connections to refer you off to somebody else that they know, like, and trust to do a good job for you. You might just say, well, I'm not taking any more clients. Good luck. Or they might say, I'm not taking any more clients, but you could talk to Jane. She might be able to help you. Here's her information. And that's where it ends. And then you're on the hunt, right? It's like a giant scavenger hunt. But what if you have to do the scavenger hunt? Because you are building relationships with people that work with business owners to help them run more efficiently and more productively. Woo, that was a word. And maximize their revenue or their profit margin, really, because they're working more efficiently. They've got the right people in the right places. You're spending your time where you should be in your business instead of in the trenches doing the grunt work. And shit's getting done. And you're able to focus on the next horizon. So you're $100,000 business now. You get the right people in the right places. Now you can start thinking and acting like a $500,000 CEO because you've got the time and space to focus on that horizon instead of what's right in front of you right now, this minute. And as a service provider, what if you could start building relationships with business owners, genuine relationships, learning about them, just getting to know them and being a conduit, either as a resource of knowledge, somebody that can connect them with someone else in their network that they might be able to, get help from. And also be networking with people in your own space so that, hey, you know what? There are a lot of things out there that I don't do well. It's not that I'm not capable of learning them or that I just simply wouldn't want to do. Coding is one of them. I don't want to code. And video editing is friggin' tedious for me, right? So there's certain things that I wouldn't want to do, but I know somebody, and sometimes I need to know 3 or 4 different somebodies because they might specialize in doing it a different way. One may have availability in their workflow and one may not. So, I'm talking about business owners and service providers, not only building relationships within their own space on that side of the coin, but actually crossing the aisle, so to speak. That's the way I'm going to refer to this, crossing the aisle and getting to know each other as people, genuine, authentic relationship building, not with the intent of, are you my client? Can you do business with me? But to get to know them and where their area of genius truly lies and build relationships across the aisles to be resources for one another in the things that we need help with as business owners. And service providers are business owners too. The other thing that I want to ask is, what if in the same space, you could have access to a trusted advisory group? So a place where, when you're having a shitty week and you need to just get it off your chest and then have people with some perspective that don't necessarily have a dog in that hunt, right? They're not attached emotionally to the outcome, that can kind of give you a different perspective and help you get out of that space without looking like a complete dumbass to people that might be your future client. Because see, that's been my challenge in a lot of these coaching programs that I participated in over the last couple of years. And I'm not saying this is a coaching program. That's not what I'm proposing here. What I'm talking about is, when I've been in a coaching program, they're like, just post your questions into the Facebook group, Kristen, and we'll be happy to answer them there. You know what? That's fucking great. Except the people in that Facebook group are potentially my clients as well, or people that I might want to work with to bring them onto a team that I'm building for someone. And the last thing I want to do is look like a complete and inept moron in front of potential clients, right? Like, who wants to hire a dumbass? No one. Because when you hire somebody or you start working with somebody or collaborating with them, you want people who are competent and confident. So all of you guys out there telling people, just post it in the Facebook group and we'll be happy to answer your question. You really need to think that through, because yes, we all learn from one another, but I don't want to look like a dumbass in front of people that might potentially do business with me down the road, whether it's now or 6 months or 2 years. So there, that's my soapbox on that. So what I'm proposing here again is trusted advisor groups on both sides of that coin, service providers, business owners. All right. And the ability to evolve your business because you have access to, cumulative knowledge that's in the room, so to speak. You also have the ability to build relationships across the aisle so that when and if you ever needed to outsource something, you know people. You already know people in that space. That's the second thing. And the third thing is having access to one-on-one mentorship with a fractional COO. What is a fractional COO? I got that question today. So real quick, it's a fractional chief operating officer. And that's me. That's what I do. I work as a fractional COO with my clients to help you bridge the gap between where you are in your business today and that next horizon. So if you're tired of fixing the same problem over and over and over again, you need to talk to someone like me because I can help you figure out where are the wheels falling off the cart. Because if you're fixing a problem all the time, the same problem all the time, your system's broken, or worse, you don't have a system. And I see that a lot as well because it's boring shit. Like there's nothing sexy about systems and processes. And what I tell people is, no, there isn't anything sexy about systems and processes, but it's sexy to be able to step away from your business and know that your customers, your clients are still being taken care of, sales are still being made, and no one is yelling at you because something didn't happen, and you're not getting 110 emails or calls or texts or whatever asking you to solve every problem and answer every single question. That's sexy. It is totally sexy. Wear that like your armor, man, when you get there. So I'm putting together a beta group because I have a lot of people telling me that this concept is kind of crazy, and I love a good challenge and I love to prove them wrong. So do you want to prove them wrong? Do you want to help me prove them wrong? Because I think this can work. And I'm willing, if you're willing, to prove them wrong and show them just how well it can work and how amazing it is, because it is going to be nothing short of genius. So, if you're interested in getting in on my beta group, what I want you to do right now is put in comments, I'm interested. If you do that, I will reach out to you with the details, because I've already spent too much time on this video anyway. And I know that because I'm long-winded. But seriously, if you're tired of fixing the same problem over and over and over again, like ad nauseum, and you're tired of beating your head against the wall because you're constantly trying to find somebody that can help you do XYZ, and you're constantly missing that, or you have somebody that you've brought onto your team or that you started working with, and you're like, I don't understand why it's not working the way I want it to, or the way I thought it was going to, and I don't know how to fix it. Or you're a service provider and you wish business owners had a better understanding of how to work with you. And you wish that when you had a client or someone in your network that said, I'm looking for someone to help me with whatever, that you could actually say, hey, here's 3 people that you can talk to about that. Any 3, any one of the 3 are going to take great care of you. I feel good about sending this introduction out. And I don't have to worry that, they're not going to do a good job, because I know these people, I know the work they do, and I know that they care about the experience they deliver just as much as I care about the experience that I deliver. So, I don't know. I think this is an excellent opportunity. I'm really excited about it, and I have so much up here, and trust me, like pages and pages and pages of planned programming, and have mapped it out and all of these good things. I'm still working on the nuts and bolts though. So like, the landing page and all of those things that have to happen. So that's why I'm saying I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. I want people to hit the ground running in 2023. I mean, I think there are a good number of us tired of treading water. Tired of fixing the same problem over and over. Tired of not getting the results that we were promised, or that we thought we would get, or that we know we're capable of getting. And so we're just fucking frustrated about it. And we're ready to start getting traction and build some damn momentum. So if that's you, let's talk. All you got to do, it won't even take you 3 seconds. If you made it this far into the video, you may as well do it and see what comes of this. And I would love to have your help in building this and bringing this vision into reality to really have significant impact on those of us in the virtual space that have businesses, either as service providers or as coaches and consultants. You're selling your widgets, your products and courses and marketing and services and, everything like that. Just drop into comments, I'm interested, or something to that effect. I figure 2 words is pretty easy. I'm interested. And I'll send you the details. So I want to launch this in mid-December, which means I want us to have our first meeting, our first event in mid-December. So that means you got to act quickly, not him and haw about it, because there's no commitment to just typing in, I'm interested. I'm not going to track you down if you don't follow through or whatever, but who knows? This could be the best thing that ever lands in front of you. And again, let's really hit the ground running in 2023 and start getting the results that were promised, getting the results that we know we're capable of getting, having the impact that we want to have in this world, and just start having that business that's serving us and others so that we can enjoy our lives, have a life. All right. So I'm interested in comments. If you want the details, I will send you the details. I may have to comment to you if we're not in networks together, but I will find a way to reach you and I will get the details out to you. All right. So I'm interested in the comments, or if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those too. And I will catch you probably on Friday for Chuck It in the Fuck It Bucket Friday, because I think we're due for one. And You know how to find me. I'm in all the places. And until then, go out there, do what sets your soul on fire, make those bold moves, and have the impact that you always wanted to have in this world. And really, you know what? It's time to unleash your inner bold moves boss. I mean that. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a fabulous, fabulous evening. Thanks, guys.